Peppergate 2023, they got me. That is a tree frog, but these are definitely not chocolate beauty bell peppers. All three of these guys. Peppergate has taken the internet by storm this year. It's also referred to as Jalopenogate because it's usually the jalapenos that are affected. Somebody gets seeds or plants from jalapenos, plant them in the garden, the fruit's set, and they find out there's something else. And it's usually banana peppers. I've seen bell peppers. Since I am now a victim of Peppergate, I'd like to give my thoughts about Peppergate, some different ideas. So we already know there's 4 seed manufacturers that have admitted to a mix-up with labeling other seeds. We're not going to drop any names, but my manufacturer claims that they are not part of this seed mix-up. I'm not angry about it. Some people will get pretty upset because they did want the kind of peppers they're growing. And I saw people that bought the same brand as I did. They had the same problem. It was chocolate beauty bell peppers, and they got these smaller round red peppers. Now, I'm not exactly sure what kind of peppers these are. I think they're sweet cherry reds or something like that. So the only wise thing I can think of is just eating it in one bite for a taste test to see what happens. And I'm someone who can't tolerate anything spicy, so that could be interesting. But before I go and eat this weird looking guy right here, let's talk about some other ways that this pepper mix-up could have happened. So there's something I noticed when I went to the big box stores earlier in the season when they first started getting plants out. One of the things I saw was they'd have a big tray and it would say jalapenos on it, and almost every single plant in there was a banana pepper. If you were just walking by to grab jalapenos out of there and you grabbed the plant, which all looked the same at that point, put it in your cart, you'd have a banana pepper, and you're thinking you're growing jalapenos. Even if you were wise and checked the tag inside the cup itself on the plant, I noticed that a lot of them did not have them in there. And some were driven deep into the soil, so you couldn't even see them. Now, peppers take a little extra care to start from seed, and they take a little while longer than most other plants. So it's a convenience thing for a lot of people just to go to the big box store, especially if you want to grow something like jalapenos. They're a common variety, easy to get. Something like that, it's just a lot easier to buy it. So personally, I believe that's where a lot of the Peppergate stuff is coming from. Now, if you start your own seeds, yes, there were 4 big manufacturers that admitted to having a problem with their seeds being labeled incorrectly. Watch out for yellow jackets in your garden. I do have some jalapenos growing in my garden, like 5 or 6 plants or so. They all turned into jalapenos, so that's good. Really don't grow many peppers. The only other peppers I got going on are Carolina Reapers, Moruga Scorpions, and just look how ridiculous these plants are. These, look at all the peppers on here. These were from store-bought sweet peppers. There's got to be about a dozen peppers on this guy. I got like 6 plants in here. When they're ripe, they look somewhat like this, which is pretty close to the peppers I bought from the store. A lot of people say it's not a good bet to use store-bought produce seeds, but when it comes to sweet peppers, I will use no other way from now on because these worked awesome. Some were red peppers in the bag, some were yellows, so I got a nice mix of reds and yellows, and they taste pretty good. So just made my way over here to the Carolina Reapers, and I was checking them out again, and I'm starting to think these might not be Carolina Reapers. I've grown Reapers numerous times, and they usually don't grow into this long shape like this. They usually get that really wicked looking bosom with the tail hanging out. Some are just starting to change color now, and they're looking pretty orange. Not even seeing any red spotting going on. That's okay, because that's going to be really good for this Peppergate video, because one of the other problems you're going to face growing peppers, if you grow them enough, is cross-pollination. Though they're self-pollinating, peppers cross-pollinate very easily. Once again, we are not going to name drop any seed companies. This is actually my favorite place to buy peppers because they have such a good selection of really hot peppers. But also I know from the internet that this place is notorious for cross-pollination. They even have their own nickname for when this happens. I have no doubt in my mind that these peppers are going to be wickedly hot whenever they ripen, whatever color they end up being. But I can assure you, these are not Carolina Reapers. There is probably some Reaper in the genetics here. As you can see, this is what I'd usually expect to see from one, except this is missing the little tail coming out. But right next to it, we have the longer shape. Here's two of my Moruga scorpions. This one here looks like it's going to be a scorpion. Same seed packet. Got this guy. I don't think that's a scorpion. If you want to see me suffer and taste test these peppers, which we don't know what they are, we just know they're probably really hot, let me know in the comments, and I'll think about it. Probably a bad idea. Peppergate's really not something to dwell about too much. We will get through this. Look at the bright side. Even though you didn't get the jalapenos you wanted, you still grew some peppers in your garden. A lot of the peppers are interchangeable in the recipes we want to use them in. If you really needed jalapenos, you can go to the grocery store and just buy a couple. To recap, we had some seed mislabeling by 4 major manufacturers. I believe some of you fell victim to plants in the wrong trays at the big box store. And if you're like me and you like growing the specialty peppers, you might have got hit with some cross-pollination. If you've been affected by Peppergate, let's use the comment section of this video as a support group for each other. Let me know what you planted. Let me know what you got. You start from seed. Did you buy plants? Let's try not to throw anyone under the bus for this. Keep it friendly and have a good time. Now onto the part I'm dreading. Please be a sweet red cherry, or whatever these are supposed to be called. Kind of looks like it. Wouldn't know. Never grew them. It does have that spicy pepper smell to it. I can barely handle jalapenos, so this could be interesting. It's very firm. I'm just going to go ahead now, take a big bite out of this pepper, see what happens. There's a lot of seeds in there. Good news is, not the least bit spicy at all. Definitely some sort of sweet pepper. Taste-wise, not as good as a regular sweet pepper. I think it's this part inside here that I bit through. It's kind of firm in there. I don't think that tasted too good. The outsides of this pepper are really good. So definitely whatever that is inside there with a lot of seeds that are actually pretty tough did not taste good. I'm not going to eat that part. I'm going to throw this in the garden. I'm going to have probably about 100 peppers pop up next year. That's all I really got on Peppergate. Just a little bit of an alternative outlook, positive hope for you guys. These same seeds are going to be sold for the next year or so, so probably run into the same problem next year. We will pull through this.